Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Riri, and if you're new here, I'm an over 40 lover of all things beauty, and I'm obsessed with indie brands. Today is day one of our 31 days of slays. Our goal this month is to use 31 different palettes for 31 different looks, and I'm hoping to post each and every single day this month. If it is not every day, it will at least be Monday through Fridays. And to kick things off, I'm diving in with my newest palette that I actually just got in the mail just now, and it is the Mcgrath Mothership Mega Celestial Odyssey palette. I have not even opened it, have not looked at it in person, have not swatched it. I will say I do understand that this is an $80 palette and it may not be for everybody, but I really love her formula. I do have a little small 6-pan palette from her that I got for 50% off a couple years ago, and I love the formula, so I really wanted to dive in and try a little bit more from her. So this is what we're going to be diving into today for our very first 31 days of slays. Alright beauties, before we dive in, please don't forget to thumbs up the video if you like what you see, subscribe down below if you have not yet, click the little bell notification so you're notified of future videos, and if you do enjoy the content, please consider sharing it out. It really does help my channel a lot. The only thing I have on so far is my brows. They are my Urban Decay Brow Blade in Brunette Betty, and my eyelids are primed with my last little bit of my ABH Eye Primer. So we are gonna get started. I'm so excited. First of all, the packaging is absolutely beautiful. I did miss out on the $78 palette last year, so I really wanted to get it. So as soon as it launched, I was on it this year. Because again, I can't afford the $125 palettes. This one is much more affordable, but is it the exact same quality? We will put that to the test today. I will say it feels incredibly heavy. So it has the little sleeve to pull out. I'm so excited, you guys. Oh, her packaging is divine, y'all. So the palette itself looks the exact same as the outer packaging. And we do have our shade names on the back. And then it opens up from the top. Okay. See, I love the packaging. It does feel beautiful. It does feel luxe. The layout kind of throws me off just a little bit. I would have rather this not been here and it been a more like symmetrical layout. That's just me. That is personal preference. And I don't think I necessarily like this. I typically like to hold a palette and fold this part back and kind of hold it flat. But I think for traveling, you could easily set this up on a desk, a vanity, a table, a counter, wherever. And the mirror is large enough and it does stay up, so you could actually do your makeup in the mirror, sitting it down. So I do like that part. I will also comment, again, personal preference. I much prefer a palette that is matte heavy. And as you can see, there are only a few mattes in this palette. But I do feel like the mattes in here tonally can work for all skin tones. That's just a personal preference for me. So I think I'm going to take a fluffy brush and I'm going to start into this kind of mid-tone brown right here to start with. I'm not experiencing any kick up at all. And I'm very lightly, or not. Okay, less is more. So I'm going to put this into the crease to act as a transition shade. All right, that went on beautifully. Definitely performed the same way that I am used to with her formula. And as you can see, it is quite intense, quite pigmented. And I am gonna go ahead and turn my light down just for a second because I feel like sometimes on camera, because our lights obviously are so bright, can't actually see the depth of the shadows. So I am gonna hold this up really close with the lights. So I'm gonna hold it up closer with the lights down. And then get a little closer also again with the lights down. So I'll turn them back up a little bit. Next up, I'm gonna go into a more firm packing type of brush. I'm gonna go into the deep dark chocolate over here. I don't think I like that lid, you guys, because every time I pick it up, it kind of falls down. Again, personal preference, just letting you guys know how I feel. Again, it is quite intense. I really want a nice intensified outer corner. So I'm stamping the shade into place, and then I will blend my edges out. I'm gonna go back in with that fluffy brush, no additional product on it. And again, just make sure that my blend is there. All right, so far so good. I will say, I don't know if it's the primer, if I'm using the wrong brush, perhaps, but it's looking like it's sticking just a little bit right here on both sides. I do also have very, very dry skin, so that may be what's going on. I'm going to take a more kind of scratchy, for lack of a better term, brush and just try to blend it out a little bit more and see if that helps any. Alright, I feel like it helped a little bit. I am still definitely seeing some patchiness. It just doesn't, even upon feeling this one versus the first one feels almost creamy and velvet-like to the touch, like very, very soft. And this one just feels a little bit drier. Not terrible, but not as good in my personal opinion thus far as the other palette that I've used from her. So I do want to swatch a couple of shimmers and just kind of see what we're working with. I know that she has some kind of more glitter metallic shades in here. So I am going to swatch the green one right here. I'm swatching this one and this one first. This one appears to be a duo slash multi-chrome, this one right here. So that is those two shades. Yeah, very pretty, and the green especially has a ton of sparkle in it. I'm gonna swatch a couple more so I know which one I would like to use. I wanna check this kind of midnight sparkly shade out. Tons of different sparkles. It's like black with purple. Oh, that's beautiful. And in this kind of deep goldy bronzy shade, but I feel like I'm also seeing like orange and green in here as well. And these feel way better than that one darker chocolate matte. Oh my God, that is so pretty. And I love the shift in here. There's almost this beautiful kind of soft peach shift in that. Oh, I love that. Oh my God. Look at the sparkle. Wow. That is beautiful. And I will put this one across the top. This one again, quite soft, quite smooth, quite silk-like. So definitely thus far, I'm impressed more with the shimmers. I want to feel the other two mattes in here. Yeah, the kind of more mauve rose shade also feels slightly dry, but the lighter pink shade to me almost feels like how the light brown shade feels. So I don't know why there's an inconsistency. I do know there are multiple formulas in here. Not terrible, definitely can get it to work, and especially once we put a shimmer on top, you're never gonna see this. I think that if I were to use this one, I would go in with a different palette and choose something different to lay down as my base, even though we're pretty neutral. I think I want to go in with this one right here. And I'm going to go with my finger to start. Whoa. Okay, that's beautiful. And the sparkle, oh my God, like the little shimmers that are in here are absolutely gorgeous, you guys. Okay, this shade I love. And the first matte I really liked. I don't know if it's just that this is more of a pressed pigment type of formula as far as the darker brown goes or what, but not my favorite. And for $80, I want this to, you know, knock my socks off, so to speak. Yeah, that shade right there is absolutely gorgeous. I am going to go ahead and go in with a flat brush. This is the Laura Lee Los Angeles L27. I'll pick some of that same shade up, and I'm going to spray the brush. You could also go in with a glitter glue, an adhesive, whatever floats your boat. And I'm saving a little bit of room on the inner corner. I just want to see if I can intensify this a little bit. And I absolutely do think you can. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh yeah, that shadow is beautiful. I think for the inner corner, I'm gonna go over here. Let me also swatch this one. Now this one feels slightly drier and a little bit thicker. I think honestly, I'm just not used to her different textures. Again, I'm not super well versed in Pat McGrath Labs shadows. And I'll put that right here. Yeah, this one's definitely got some flakiness to it. I'll show you before I blend that out all the way. Definitely some texture, definitely some flakiness to it. Still very beautiful though. I am gonna go with a pencil brush and try it dry first. Okay, I'm gonna load it up on my pencil brush and we're gonna spray it. Okay, that's a little bit better. I'm getting a lot of fallout too from the shadow, but it definitely intensified with the little bit of spray. I'm going to push that right here in the inner corner as well. Still a really pretty eye look, definitely obviously very neutral and then, you know, a natural look. I'm just not blown away. I have to be completely honest with you guys. So we're gonna do the other eye. Definitely get intensity when you spray your brush. And then this shadow right here, I really love as well. So I don't know. I honestly just think that it's the different, formulations within the palette. And obviously I'm just not used to that. Again, I'm not super well versed on Pat McGrath Labs. But I will say her other smaller palette that I have, like the mattes and stuff in that they're incredible. And based on that palette, her shimmers have been like fantastic, phenomenal in my eyes. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm going to watch some more videos, and I'm also going to do some swatches. I was not going to swatch the palette because it's a larger palette, but I am going to swatch it, and I will pop up either a video or pictures of my swatches. So yeah, I'm going to do my base face. Everything, of course, will be linked down below. We're going to come back, we'll do the lower lash line, and then I'm also testing out a Pat McGrath mascara. BRB. All right, beauties, I am back. I went in with a small flat brush and used the dark chocolate brown right against the lower lash line. Took the lighter brown and buffed it out. Overall, I think it is a beautiful look. Aside from the deep brown sticking just a little bit and kind of looking a little bit patchy, again, that could be me. I like the palette overall because even though this one was not quite as intense, I guess, upon first application, it is still very beautiful. And the little sparkles that are in here they're stunning. And that one shade is absolutely beautiful. I did also go in with this shade right here on my brow bone, and I think it's called Lunar Haze. You guys, the reason I'm not telling you the shade names is because I have a hard time reading these and knowing which is which and if they're backwards or not backwards. So I would rather just point to them and show you guys what I'm using instead of say the wrong shade name. So overall, I like it. I am actually going to have to play with this a few more times because I am on the fence. Like, I love some aspects. I don't like some aspects. So I don't know yet that I could confidently tell you, hey, go spend $78 for this palette. But then I also don't think that it's a terrible palette. So I just want to keep playing with it. I will say, like, I cannot stop looking at myself, so that's probably a positive thing. And of course, we'll get up close and personal at the end. But I do want to test out her mascara. This is the Pat McGrath Labs FetishEyes mascara, and this is the shade Extreme Black. I don't like the packaging. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know that right now. So let me look at the wand first. Okay, I think I'm gonna like it. It doesn't look super, super wet upon first glance. And it does have a nice, thick, fluffy wand, which is my preference. I typically like more of an hourglass shaped one, but I think I'm going to like this. Typically, these types of wands give you more volume and kind of curl and lift, which is what I prefer. So let's go in. I think it's pretty. It's definitely giving me some curl. It's definitely giving me a little bit of volume. And I honestly think if I were to have curled my lashes, I think I would like it even more. I, of course, will update you guys and let you guys know. Staying power, did it stay in place all day? Did it keep its kind of lift and stuff? So I'll do the other eye and I'll be RB. All right, beauties. Yeah, I think I would use it again. And the more I'm looking at the eyes, I really, really like that one formula of the metallics. The other one was slightly more flaky. All I would say with that is to use a glitter primer, an eye base, wet your brush, etc. But this shade, I can't get over it. All right, so overall thoughts. Packaging, 10 out of 10. It does feel heavy. It does feel luxe. I love the packaging. I love the embossing and everything else. As much as I personally would not use the palette in this manner, meaning, you know, staring into the palette like this. I like to fold my palette back and use my mirror here. I do think it's a beautiful touch, and it does add to the luxe feel of the palette. Now let's talk about the actual palette. Again, I wish this was not here and it was a, you know, a symmetrical palette. That's just a me thing, I know. And for me personally, I would only use this, and I would say to you guys as well, this is not a standalone palette, in my personal opinion. For me, this is a companion palette. I would go in with, you know, blues, greens, purples, whatever kind of your matte preference is, and then go in with a corresponding shimmer or metallic type shade. I will say that I am not familiar with all of her finishes or the formulations in this palette, so that honestly may be what's throwing me off, and I do apologize for that. I can only compare it to the palette that I've used in the past. This matte right here blew me away. The level of pigmentation that you see in the pan is what you get on your eyes. The same was with the dark chocolate brown as well. I just think it just felt a little bit drier, and I don't always mind that. You just have to work a little bit harder, and of course if you're laying a metallic on top, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. This shade right here, oh my god, it is absolutely beautiful, and I love the level of sparkle that's in here. I want to dive into this shadow right here. Yeah, I'm on the fence. I will say, if you're already familiar with her formulations, with her different textures and finishes of her shadows, and you already know you love them, go for it. I say 100% go for it. If you're like myself and you're unfamiliar with it, it may not blow you away upon first use. So I will keep it. I'm going to continue to play with it. Maybe at the end of the 31 Days of Slays, let's test it again. Maybe it can be our last palette. In the meantime, I'll continue to play with it kind of off camera. I'll come back and do kind of a follow-up or a full-on review of the palette. But I am happy that I have it still, and I'm definitely going to play with it. Again, I definitely just think that it's a companion palette. I personally wouldn't travel with this. So yeah, other than that, I mean, I think it's a beautiful palette. I think there are definitely pros and cons. The mascara, I think, is beautiful. I definitely feel like I got some volume and a little bit of lift and curl, which is what I look for in a mascara. So that is it, beauties. Hopefully 31 Days of Slays is super fun and enjoyable for you. Also, I only have a few of the palettes picked out that I know for sure I'm using. So if you have a particular palette in mind that you'd like to see me use during 31 Days of Slays, please comment down below. I will try my best to use it, of course, if I have that palette. But that is it, beauties. I love you. Stay happy, healthy, and safe, and be your own best beautiful. Bye, beauties.